I did this joint the other day called
What, poem?
yeah, I did this poem the other day called
What the fuck I thought you just say you have a piece, right? What a piece that you...
I have a couple man. Like, this is my book, yeah. I did this book when did I do this
Mental
book?
hieroglyphics.
I did this book in I wanna say about 1999. It's my second book of poetry. It's called Mental Hieroglyphics, and it's available for purchase on my website, at sunrason.com. That's SUNRASON. But yeah, this is my second book of poetry, and my first book was called The Fire in Me, and I have a lot of joints in here, man. A lot of gems. Like sometimes
that 9 one is dope. I like that one.
9 is that one is actually my first, but that's in The Fire in Me. This book though, like
What? Oh, that one had the Tehut-9 in it?
no, not this one.
Okay.
This one have a lot of gems in it though, man. It got a lot of, like, sometimes I just find myself
You got
reading
menticide in there? Alright.
Menticide. Matter of fact, let's go look at and see what menticide is about.
That's my topic on my when you go on my Twitter is menticide. And the craziest
Word.
thing, when you go on my Twitter is menticide, then the name of my thing is mental hieroglyphics. I didn't even know that. I just realized it.
What?
Djehuti Ali, is it, man?
You see that? You see that,
For
people?
real, I didn't even realize that.
Menticide. I stand in the book of life, holding my life in my hands, looking at my reflection in the number 9, giving my mind a soul to manufacture thoughts to take control of thinking. So now I'm drinking my visions and placing my mind into position to brainwash my thoughts, which I shampooed and conditioned to keep my intuition clean. For I've seen obscene scenes on 13 screens where there were 13 ends to every 13 means, and brothers in love have 13 queens on 13 floors smoking 13 blunts till there were 13 months, facing 13 foes, standing in 13 rows, saying I suppose that mankind knows that 13 was made for man, but I'm the 13th hour and 10 to the 13th power, and mankind still don't understand. So if you're that other man who's not my brother, man, and your rhythm is often sloppy, you can never be me. You will never be me. I'm the original. You're a low resolution copy. Let's see who's calling in. Caller, identify yourself. Trish though?
Yeah. Big up.
Alright. Well, we're gonna get busy right now. Company coming over. We're trying to get this thing set up. I'm only gonna be doing this probably for another 10 or so minutes, and then I'm gonna set it down. But I'm telling you, I wanted to do this piece, right? The other day, cause I've been writing a lot, man. I've been writing a whole lot lately. Like, it's like I'm in this fucking inspiration zone right now.
Zoning out.
Man, I'm for real, like on some real shit. Like,
I already know.
my energy's like crazy right now. You know what I mean? I feel energized. I feel good. I feel motivated. I feel like I'm back to myself again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember back 2005, 2004, you know, going all the way back 2000, you know, from 2000 coming up, man.
When you start out.
I was like pushing hard, man. I was going everywhere. I was traveling the whole world. Went to Europe, went to Japan, all over the Caribbean, all over America, just touring and traveling, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, you know, that was incredible.
That ain't the end of it. Still is more to continue.
It was just incredible because, like,
continued.
What it was, right? It's like, you know, you feel young, you feel invincible, you feel like you can conquer the world. You have all these ideas, and you know, now you're making the ideas real. You see what I'm saying? And you're doing it your way. And so, like, I mean, and I feel like after I started making movies, you know, things kind of slowed down for me because, like, you know, I had to be there, like, you know, involved in the entire process. And then after I'd written the scripts and directed the film and shot them and that and edited, like, I was doing so many things because, like,
you know, I've seen that process, so I already know.
I was doing a lot of stuff, but
It's a painstaking, but you know what? It's the path that you journey on that makes you who you are. So it adds to your character.
Yeah, but you know, like that's why right now going forward, like, cause you know, I think like after I did the first 2 movies, man, and you know how black people are. So when you're trying to build something together, it's always some shit, especially money. Like, you know, I've always been a loner. As long as I've known myself, I've always been the kind of person who, like, you know, I like to do stuff and be independent because I just can't deal with the personality, like
personality clashes
that people go through or try to, like, you know, bind you up in
or try to dictate you.
You see what I'm saying? So like, after I did my second movie, like, you know, me and the guys that I work with, like, you know, I don't want to really get into it, but we went our separate ways. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
And that was a big emotional drain for me. Like, you know what I mean? I just, like, I was burnt out. Because I'd spent months, like, writing, you know, shooting, directing. I was wearing so many hats. I wasn't the only one doing the project, but I'd spent so much energy putting that project together. And then it came out, and then everything that went down, and man, I was burnt out, man.
It was overwhelming to a point.
I did my last movie, the last movie that I did, What Goes Around, which is coming out now, people. So get ready. As a matter of fact, I have I think I got a copy of, like, what the cover is gonna look like. I mean, y'all seen the cover on Facebook. Everybody's seen the cover on Facebook, so it's not like anything that you haven't seen, you know. But I thought I had, like, a physical case here or something.
You don't have it?
I don't know where it is now. I don't know where the case went.
Well, just show them the picture.
But yeah, y'all seen the cover. They seen the cover, man.
Yeah, show them the picture.
This is the cover right here, and y'all seen it on Facebook. I wanted to kind of just talk about some of the things that I've done, some of the things that I used to do, and some of the things that I have planned coming up to do.
Not gonna give them too much on the plan because we know people out there. Yeah.
But we're doing a lot of stuff. We're just getting busy. Like I said, this is you know, we right now, tonight's our first night messing around with this live stream thing on YouTube, and as you can see, it's very humble. It's only like 3 people in here, and probably one of them is my son. So shout out,
Big up to the family always supporting. You feel me?
To the family. So,
because if you don't have your family support you, who gonna support you?
But I'm gonna tell you something. We start off small. We start up at 3 tonight, and you know, before you know it, we up to 3 million. Okay, so. You know, for those of you who are starting out this journey, with me, and somebody else just came and look at that. It's already the numbers is already going up. We up to number 4. Come on, we need about 3,999,996 more. Let's go.
You really going in?
All right, so
it's the pilot episode. We take it off. You know what I mean?
This is a pilot. We just messed around. I mean, we wasted a lot of time. How much time have we been on here so far?
It's set 20.
About 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Shit, 30 minutes, and we here just like trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
Or somebody came and somebody left. All right, it's all good. You'll be back. So it's all peace. But we're gonna be talking about you know, like the state of our people. Recently, Barack Obama did the State of the Union address, and I put up something on Facebook where I asked people to basically, you know.
From when he first came in to now?
No, not. You know, every year they do the State of the Union, right?
Yeah.
So I was saying, if you was the president, you know, what would be your State of the Union? Like, be raw, be real. You know,
my State of the Union.
Yeah, you say your State of the Union. Give us like a.
I try to really put.
Let's see.
My
fellow.
No, more why you want to put me on the spot? You know my own is gonna be. You know my. You know my own is gonna be. You know, man. So we might ruffle some feathers if we say something.
All right, hold up. What would be your State of the Union address, people out there? Like, my State of the Union would be like, look, man, black people, I'm about to get out of here, so I'm gonna just keep it real with you. You know what I mean? You know, these motherfuckers, they don't like me either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the big dog in here, so while I'm here for the next couple of months, I'm gonna push hard to make sure that y'all get some of, you know, the things that I promised. Cause I think like
So you really think that Barry, not even Barack, you think Barry gonna come through?
Listen, I'm just saying. Listen. It's not Barry speaking. This is you. Right?
All right.
So what are you gonna say? It's not about. Don't always be. You know what I mean? Like leave Obama alone. Right? Fuck
hey. I told you I was making t-shirts when the brother first came out.
Leave
so,
Obama alone.
I was profiting up Obama too. You know what I'm saying?
We don't
Hope,
give a damn.
you know, all that. Yeah.
People gotta be real, man. You ain't gonna get everything out of the situation. You know, he's a politician. What the fuck you expect? You know what I mean? We got black politicians. He's not the first.
Tricks.
He's not the first black politician we've dealt with.
Actually, he's not the first black president, but we're not gonna go.
All right, well, you're gonna go into that because you want. You know, I like when you start like going in on stuff like, why my eye look like that? You see that shit?
Okay.
My eyes. What the fuck? Shit.
Are you gonna say that?
That shit looked weird a while ago, son. For real. But
alright. But yeah.
What were we saying about Obama now?
Alright, no, we saying like
now let's get back to your State of the Union address.
Alright, State of the Union. My so-called State of the Union, my State of the Union address would be, even though it's kind of, you put me on the spot here, you know, I would have to really put it in the realm of thinking. But my State of the Union would be towards the people. I would be like, it's time to basically wake up. Wake the fuck up, people.
But I think it's gonna take more than words or more than just like, you know, that's
what I'm saying. Saying State of the Union.
Like, how the fuck do you wake people up when you people like look how much people have come along to tell black people to wake up. Just tell them to wake up alone.
But that's what I'm saying. Wake up. Realize that it's not only what's outside of you that they're trying to hold. It's things that's inside of you that you need to get from outside. You see what I'm saying?
You know, sometimes I get the feeling when people say we need to wake up, right? Mm-hmm. I get the feeling that maybe we think that when we wake up we're gonna grow some fucking cape down our back or some extra pair of, you know, or wings or something and take off like Superman and we're gonna zap them with the laser beams in our eyes. And man, listen, why you need to, we're talking about waking up, we're talking about waking up to your common sense. Because basically a lot of us have been bamboozled,
hoodwinked,
we've been fooled, we've been miseducated, not just by the school system, but by our parents. Let's keep it real. You know what I mean?
But
they were misguided and miseducated by their parents.
Exactly. You know what's weird? Not to cut your wisdom. I was talking to, you know, my girl's grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And I was asking questions about, you know, when did they see the generation start, you know, crumbling? When did the breakdown of the black family start? And it started basically with our parents' generation. You see what I'm saying? Not even our grandparents, because our grandparents, they didn't witness divorce. There was no divorces going on during the 40s and 50s, really. That's a more common thing, you know what I'm saying, after the civil rights movement. Not saying the civil rights movement caused it, but it's like after the, you know, the 60s era, the 70s era, flower power. That's when, you know, they started separating the community. You know what I'm saying? Well, our community, I'd say, and different communities too. You see what I'm saying? Because for one, they disenfranchised with Vietnam. When our families, you know what I'm saying, our fathers, you know what I'm saying, went off to the war. When they went off to war, they thought they were fighting for a country that when they came back, they would be able to profit off of the things that they went to fight for. But when they came back, that they found out that the situation that they left was even worse. You see what I'm saying?
Word.
You see, because they situated so many things with the for instance, the projects. The projects were created after Vietnam. You see what I'm saying? Well, during that time, you know, to
what was the purpose for the projects?
The welfare and all that. That's when all that started to come into play.
Because we know it's all experimentation. You see what I'm saying? They wanted to see what you would do. It's kind of like you're living in, you know, sometimes when I'm in, like, you know, one of the heavy concrete jungles like that we all live in.
Yeah.
Like you walk around and, you know, you start to look at the buildings, right? And a lot of us, our eye lines don't go above 2 stories.
That's true.
So we don't even know what the facade looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like they've broken our friggin' access to the sunlight with all these towering structures.
They can't even see the landscape anymore.
You can't see anything.
They only see what's in front of them.
Yeah, you really can't see anything. So the end of the day, when you're walking around, you know, and you're looking at the top of the building, you start to make out the facade. You know, this shit that looks like we're in a freaking graveyard. This shit look like tombstones, man.
Dang, I didn't even think of it like
that. Because people not studying it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? and it's crazy. So we know that they created this thing for low income people and also to run experiments on us to see, you know, what we would do, you know, if they applied certain social and economic pressures.
Add on what you're saying to run experiments. There's many documentaries
that's why it's called a project.
Yeah, they call the projects the project. They, you know, there's those guys with the C and the A at the end of it. They've run experiments through the projects through using different gases and different things like that. Because it's a known study that happened in the 70s. They were using the New York City subways to shoot out certain gases to test on the people to see how they would.
And they still, you know, the thing is, they're still doing the same thing.
They still do those things.
Y'all know they still doing the same thing.
I actually seen on Twitter last year, they put up a notice that they were gonna do it. Like they have to notify you for things, but you have to find where the notifications come from. Last year I found a notification, put it up on Twitter. I think it was one of the most tweets that I had got retweet. You know what I'm saying? Because of a lot of people was like, "Dang, I didn't know this was going on today," and they was like, "Yo, appreciate that." So you know, I felt like I did something at that time, even though I didn't know that. You know, I wasn't in New York City at the time, but they were actually using the subways to test out something. Some kind of gas or whatever, but that's what they always do, and they say they're testing things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And who are they testing these things on? The public, you know?
Yeah, we got some books here that we wanted to talk about. I know you have this book right here, Secrets of...
Yeah, we could
go into... Secrets of Magical Seals.
Yeah, we could go into this, you know.
Of course, I have my book as well, Mental Hieroglyphics. I also have, hold on. Because, you know, I'm not only just a filmmaker, I'm also a publisher. I have my own publishing company, and you know, I've published books for a lot of different authors, poets, different people. I've done different things basically, and several movies. So I also have like I said, Mental Hieroglyphics, which is my second book of poetry. This is fire. Get this. You get this at my website, sunrise.com, and we also have Haru's new book.
Big up, brother Haru Patah.
Yeah. Show me a beautiful woman.
That's right.
So you know, we could talk about some of these things, and these books are available on my website at sunrise.com. Now talk to us about this, the I Ching, like by
Alfred Huang. Yeah, that's who actually they imprisoned Alfred Huang.
They did
because he had the I Ching. The Mao Zedong, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he got out of jail the year I was born.
So talk to us about the I Ching. I know you and Tariq was doing something from Destiny Grind.
Big up brother Tariq. Tariq is the one who actually brought back the I Ching into, you know, I heard about it years before.
I have the I Ching, man.
You have the I Ching book. You have the Book of Answers, if anything, right?
I have the big one. I have a big, but I think I might have it upstairs where I have my study material.
Well, I definitely want the brother Tariq, because the other day we were over there building at his house, and basically we ran through the whole I Ching, the whole 64 hexagrams or guas, you know, talking basically to each other about, you know what I'm saying, stuff that you go through. And that's what they even talking about, the DNA and the I Ching. This is just a random video talking about. We're going to go into this and, you know, give more depth on the subject, you know, future. But the I Ching, you know, it's even connected to the DNA, they say. So, you know, the 64 strands of DNA, they say the 64 strands in our DNA, and some of them might be junk DNA. But then me and the brother was, you know, looking at it, saying that some of the junk DNA could be actually where we get the readings from, because, you know, it could be, every reading is a part of the situation that's going on. You see what I'm saying? So whenever you're trying to find out the answer.
What they call junk DNA too is not really junk.
We know that, but you know, yeah.
Also, this book right here, I picked this up the other day. The Cure for All Diseases.
That's a deep.
And and it kind of reminds me of like when I was growing up, when I was younger. My mom used to always have this book called Back to Eden. You ever seen that book?
Was it Afrocentric book?
No, it was like it wasn't an Afrocentric book. It was a health book.
Because I keep remembering the one.
It's kind of like a book about
the African holistic health. That's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I have that one too. Yeah. That's by Layla Africa.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about Back to Eden. I forgot the name. I think it's some white guy that wrote that book though. But it was like one of those books with like a lot of home remedies and natural remedies for different illnesses.
I got one too that you seen at the house with all of the flowers. It shows you every flower that basically could heal.
Oh
you.
yeah, that's dope. I think I picked up one, and you know, those are some of the things that I think we as a people we need to get into the sciences of
healing ourselves,
nutrition, agriculture. You know, engineering. We need to get back to those sciences, those basic sciences. Those are fundamental to like, you know, how you sustain yourself as a people and to be, you know what I mean, free of like the dependence that all of us seem to have on this society. We're very dependent on this society for a lot of our basic needs. And you know we see that this society really doesn't give a two shits about it. So we can't keep on going down that path like it's all good. Mm-hmm. At some point we gotta like we gotta get ourselves together because like any day these people turn off the lights we're gonna be in darkness. You know what I'm saying?
They turn off the faucet like they did in Detroit. We was talking about earlier.
Oh yeah.
You see, to put to the point too, Detroit, Flint, Michigan, they're finding out that the water source that they get their water for the last 3 to 4 years has been contaminated.
Shit.
So the babies surprised. And all the kids up there now, you know what I'm saying? And you know one of the things I found out too about Detroit and Michigan has the largest demographic of Africans in America. So if we need a fighting for it, we would think it's New York, all the black people in New York. Nah, there's more black people in I think square mileage in Detroit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we should, and people they're in their lowest sense of state right now because Detroit there's nothing really going on. Mm-hmm. Even when I was in the barber shop last week, one of my friends is a barber from Detroit, and one of my other friends I know from Detroit, but he was just talking about Detroit. He was like, man, ain't nothing going on in the D, and it was like that's why you here. They was joking like that's why you here, but if you look at it. Each of us come from different states at the same time, but Detroit, to a certain extent, Detroit is really getting abused. And you remember, Detroit was the last place to have a black mayor that got locked up. Yeah. Kwame Kilpatrick, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to be quoted on that, but the last black mayor, he got arrested for saying that he was using the funds for the mayor campaign, like a lot of these mayors do and all these politicians do. But he got arrested for it. Say that he was taking the funds to fly here and there and da. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we always get a the raw end of the
same thing like in Charlotte with the black mayor that got locked up for. It's always it's always.
What's his name? What's that brother name?
I don't even remember.
Shit, start with a C.
Dang.
Start with a C. Come on.
I can't remember. That was like what 2-3 years ago.
You can't. You see how fucked up it is?
Yeah.
And that dude just gone and you already forgot who he was, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how quick we forget each other, man.
Well,
like imagine we here trying to remember shit from 3, 4, 5, 6,000 years ago. We can't remember the mayor from like, the last 3 years or 4 years or whatever.
Was it Patrick Cannon?
Cannon.
Yeah. See, I knew the name, but I just didn't think. I didn't know if it was it.
Redeemed himself. Oh my God. Redeemed himself. Go back to that 6,000 year memory now, boy.
I got photographic memory, but me and him always argue about that. But yeah,
his photograph be blurry sometimes. So you know what I'm saying?
However it comes to me, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going.
Well, we're going to kind of call it a night for the night, people. Thank y'all for hanging out with us.
45 minutes.
This was really just like a tester, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean. Respect, love, peace, and prosperity
to everybody out there.
Keep your minds switched on.
Always.
This is Tehut-9 and Djehuti Ali signing out.
Yeah.
From Mind TV, where we provoke thought and inspire thinking. Black power to all black people.
Peace.